another pitcher the Diamondbacks have interest in or should have interest in.
I don't. We have heard zero reports along these lines.
This is all speculation. They should have interest in.
Bring him to me.
Right-handed pitcher Devin Williams.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Devin Williams has been putting up some incredible numbers this season. 1.56 ERA. Just incredible.
The
whip.
airbender.
Yeah, the airbender here from the Milwaukee Brewers, a team that honestly the Diamondbacks are competing with here as we approach the trade deadline and beyond for potentially a wild card spot. But really good numbers from Devin Williams, including that 0.99 whip.
I would love to have Devin Williams on this team. I would love to have if you know, Devin Williams and Marcus Stroman on this team would be a vibe. I would be all the way here. I know there's certain commentators for certain MLB teams that would be upset about their choice of headwear under their hat. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like we talked about this a few times. A guy that has a presence. Devin Williams definitely has a presence.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of him as a baseball fan. I am a huge fan of Devin Williams.
Yeah, he brings a lot of excitement.
I would love to have him here.
A fellow Mr. Electricity. Right?
Yes. Me, him, and Stroman are going to take over Arizona.
Electric. Jesse, thoughts on his availability and if the Brewers would actually part ways with him?
Yeah, probably not.
Thanks, Jesse. Back to you in the studio.
The only reason that Devin Williams is even here, I mean, the Brewers are currently leading the NL Central.
It really doesn't. They just traded for Carlos Santana, I believe, right?
Yeah. They're clearly they're buyers, at least in some sense. So the only reason that the Brewers are here is because they were in a pretty similar position a year ago, and they traded one Josh Hader when he still had a year of control after that remaining. So the Brewers are a little odd with the way they operate sometimes. They don't really play by the traditional buy-sell rules that other teams play by. But yeah, I don't think the Brewers are going to move Devin Williams unless they're pretty much overwhelmed by a team. Last year, they also got Taylor Rogers in the Josh Hader deal, so they got a pretty good reliever back. That probably made them feel a little bit better about that. I don't think the Diamondbacks necessarily have that reliever on this team that the Brewers would feel okay about getting back.
Yeah, no kidding.
But if we look at the pros and cons here,
maybe if it was a positional need thing, maybe that's the reason why the Brewers would do it so that they could upgrade. But he's been so good for them, I don't know why they would move on from him. But because his track record has been outstanding, extremely affordable and controllable through the 2026 season, I believe.
Through 2025.
Two
more seasons after this one. I mean, Devin Williams has a career 1.93 ERA. So when we say he has a track record, I mean, he's basically been arguably the best reliever in baseball the past few years.
6.7 WAR in his career,
which is pretty crazy.
He was on the U.S. team, World Baseball Classic team as well too. So another guy that has had some experience pitching in high leverage situations in a postseason like atmosphere.
Yeah. He's only 24 years old, so he fits the Diamondbacks core kind of age, right?
I think he's 28 years old.
28. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. 28 years old.
He debuted at 24.
What would it take to get Bednar and Williams? Just go all in.
Oh my gosh!
Stop it.
Now we're really getting ridiculous.
We're off the rails already with just suggesting this. But honestly, with the way that the bullpen has gone for this team, I mean, Snakes on the Diamond said the cost to get Devin Williams might as well be used to land a starting pitcher. I don't know if getting one of the best
depends on your perspective, but probably
getting one of the best relievers in the game though could really change this team. I mean, we've talked about the starting rotation and we'll admit that potentially the way they're set up now isn't enough to kind of make a splash. But we still don't know based on the fact that the three guys in question that are part of the rotation all young guys that are developing every single time they go out there and pitch in a Major League Baseball game. So you still don't know what you're going to get out of Ryan Williams, Tommy Henry, and Brandon Pfaadt. And Ryan Nelson. Ryan Nelson. You don't know what you're going to get. I'm looking at Devin Williams' name right now.
Ryan Williams is the best player in baseball.
Yeah, Ryan Nelson.
He's coming.
Devin Williams in 2020. In 2020, Devin obviously was a weird season. That was the shortened season, right? So they only threw 27 innings, but he finished 7th in Cy Young voting in 2020 because Devin Williams had a 0.33 ERA. He gave up 1 run
How many
in 27 innings. He gave up 8 hits in 27 innings. He had a 0.63 whip, and he had 53 strikeouts in 20. He had almost an 18 strikeouts per 9 in that season. And he hasn't maintained that since. It's been more like 14 since, which is just lousy. Yeah, terrible, awful. But yeah, I mean, he would be the Diamondbacks saying, look, in Zach Gallen's tenure, as long as Zach Gallen is a Diamondback, we're not doing the no closer thing anymore. Like, we're going to bring in Devin Williams and we're going to pay a very handsome price to do it. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know what the Brewers might be thinking, I guess.
We've talked about the Diamondbacks potentially making some low-key moves. This would not be a low-key move. This would cost a whole lot. And I don't know, again, if even with throwing everything at the Brewers, if that would be something they would even consider. So let's take a look at the trade idea we got here.
Yeah, if the Brewers really like Brandon Pfaadt, then maybe it would make sense for them. That's kind of the thinking here. I also have Ryan Bliss in there along with Yu-Min Lin once again. Yu-Min Lin is showing up in a lot of these because I think his value is really high right now. It could be a potential sell high opportunity for the Diamondbacks. I don't know if Ryan Bliss moves the needle a ton for them. The Brewers' offense has really been their biggest issue. So, you know, maybe the Brewers would like an Ivan Melendez type, or more likely they'd probably like Jordan Lawler in this trade. Although I think we can all agree the Diamondbacks would not go there. So this is the offer we have, but frankly, I don't know if the Diamondbacks would be willing to do this, and I'm not even sure if the Brewers would be willing to do that either with how high their asking price probably is.